we're back from our bye week. Mark is not here. He's still in Barbados. But Dave and I decided that, we couldn't – football doesn't stop because of Mark Lupo. We have to continue the show. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, James. What's going on?
Nothing. Actually, I just noticed that you're rocking a Seahawks shirt, to be honest with you. And, that's pretty cool, I guess. 12th man.
Yeah, I can't rock a Jet shirt this week or ever for the rest of the season. So obviously I'm going to do that. I wore the Deion Sanders Ravens jersey last time.
That's what it was. You were asking me if that was Ray Rice.
I had a lot of that. No. Trust me, I would not do that. But we're coming off the bye week here on the Sports Chill Football Experience, and I guess Mark didn't get the memo because I know that you sent out the company email saying, "Listen, take a week off, get refreshed, but then come back strong." And I guess Mark didn't get it because he's still in Barbados, so I don't know what's going on there. But
he was feeling stressed out about me taking my shirt off on Snapchat and MetLife and stuff. But hey, boys will be boys.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, let's get into it. Speaking of the Giants, I was at the game. The Ravens caved into MetLife. They were up 10-0 before I even got into my seats. Shawnee Spills was furious at me because I got there late. I was cramping up getting to the lot, so obviously I had to start shotgunning, doing a few things. Florian Dasborough obviously helped out the cause. But getting onto the game, I sit down. It's 10-0 already. The Boo Birds were out. But, the Giants started to chip away against a Ravens team that is definitely not good. I did not see one good thing from them. But I really wanted to get into the matter of the fact they're 3-3, and their record is showing us exactly who they are. Do you think they're a good team right now?
It's an interesting question because, like you said, they're 500, 3-3,
right.
And the answer is I really don't know yet because we've seen them have some, really good plays. Defensively, we've seen them be a little bit more of that, made over defense that we expected from this offseason. Beckham got going, but then again, we still don't know. I mean, Shepard's kind of taking a back seat a little bit.
Yeah,
Cruz,
what happened to him yesterday?
Yeah, I forgot Shepard was actually on the field at some points. But to answer your question, James, I mean, I really don't know. The jury's still out. The verdict's still out on the Giants.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm a little bit upset right now because I sat next to a chick, no big deal, who got tickets from Orleans Darkwa.
I saw that.
I was expecting a little bit of carries from him, because we were going to get him on. We might get him on the Sports Chill podcast soon enough.
Really?
I'm in talks,
right.
But we're 30th in rushing. The Giants, 30th in rushing, averaging 76.0 rushing yards a game. I think it's pretty disgraceful. I mean, when you're doing that on the rushing attack, obviously they're third in passing, 288 yards a game. But the fact of the matter is they're 25th in points for. And that really wasn't what we were expecting from a New York Giants football team that was, I think we were 8th overall last year. And, I mean, their defense is mediocre, very mediocre, middle of the pack, 21.8 points against. Not that we're really trying to stat check on the sportsshow.com fire. But, I really think right now I don't think they're a good team. I really don't. It's just the eye test. And I'm going to move on because we're going to talk about a little bit about Odell first. Why don't you start with Odell?
Yeah, I mean, again, the antics with the kicking net, and I said this last week. I expressed my frustration about it. We'll put the off-the-field Odell to the side for a second, though. I mean, he was exactly the guy that he's been, really, since he's been here. He's the guy that bailed the team out. And how many times, I mean, James, as a Giants fan, how many times has it been late in the game, and it's been those back-and-forth scores, and then we see Odell just break one, and then, end the game that way. So it was nice to see that Odell, from that standpoint, but still a little bit too much about Odell.
Yeah, and you know what? To be honest with you, I knew it, right? He took off the helmet.
Yes.
He just has to do it. He said, "I don't care," and he's running around. And you want to kiss the net once after the first time, but the second and third time it gets old. And honestly, I think he might be bipolar. And it doesn't bother me. To be honest with you, it bothers me, but it doesn't make me furious. But when you start to have Eli Manning start saying stuff, he said it's one of those deals where, hey, you can get real sick of it, but when he's not going out there and making plays, but when he has huge couple of catches and 200 yards and a game-winning TD, you have to be a little smarter, but you accept it a little bit easier. And we're talking about a guy in Eli Manning that is the chillest of the chill. So that's where really it starts to concern me. And he said he's going to let McAdoo handle it.
So now, James, you being the Giants fan that you are, and let's just pretend that you're Beckham for a second, right? Let's pretend that you have that, ramen noodle hair and all that stuff, which you could probably pull off, by the way. But let's just pretend that you're Odell for a second. If you see Eli making those comments, if you read the paper and you see that, does that kind of make you think twice about it before you step on that field on Sunday?
You know what? I think right now, if I'm Odell Beckham, I'm getting to the mindset of Odell Beckham. Eli's just trying to he's trying to do what's best for the team, and I understand it. But I'm just trying to be me, and I don't see a problem with it. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to channel Odell, but to be honest with you, Odell needs to know better. He really does. I don't want to hear that he's a third-year player. I'm pretty sure he's a third-year player.
Mm-hmm.
We're not stat checking right now. He's a third-year player. He's old enough now. You score touchdowns. You don't want to be the next Des Bryant. You don't. My dad, Coach Randaz, said it best. He reminds him of a young Michael Irvin, that the guy who he can win you games easily, and he can also cost you ones. And at this point in his life, he just needs to shut up and play football and stop proposing to kicking necks. And most importantly, stop causing penalties. Because at the end of the day, if the Giants lose that game, Odell Beckham Jr. is not only the biggest story in New York, he's the biggest story in all of National Football League, and it's not okay. It really isn't okay at this point.
We're having a much different conversation right now if that penalty assessed on the kickoff leads to a Ravens game-winning score. Things would be a lot different, and there's heat on Beckham now. So imagine how much heat there would be if his penalty cost them the game. He said he went over to, I believe it was McAdoo, and he apologized, my bad. But you know what? How many times are you going to say my bad? And the room of people that I was in when I was watching the game, they actually, I don't want to say defended Odell, but they were kind of questioning that penalty because you can't take off your helmet in the field of play. Technically, He walked behind the goalpost, behind, whatever you want to call it, out of play. So I don't know if that really should have been a penalty. But either way, don't even get it to that point. Hand the ball to the ref. If you want to do a dance or whatever it is, go for it. But
do a little dance, make a little love.
Exactly. But leave the helmet on, leave the kicking net alone, and do you, Odell. Besides for that, be that playmaker.
222 yards, 8 receptions. Can't hate him. Okay. Let's get on to, you know what? We have a little thing called, we're going to skip the biggest play of the game because I already ranted about it, but that pass interference call, let's just say it was phantom.
Mm-hmm.
It was phantom at that. We'll leave it at that. All right, we're going to do a little segment. I was hoping that Mark was going to Skype us from Barbados, but, he's not here. But this is a little segment called Show and Tell. And I don't know. I'll let you go first. What are you going to show and tell me
All right, so,
about this week?
You wanted random. I got your random.
Perfect.
I was looking around the office, and I'm like, you know what? What can I pull out? And I wanted to keep it football related. I don't want to mention the B word or the H word. Go Rangers. Right. But I'm gonna pull one out right now. I got a Herm Edwards Eagles card because Herm Edwards, he's always making headlines at ESPN. He actually, not to get sidetracked, but I heard that he came to the defense of Richard Sherman on that pass interference call against Julio on the last play of the game. That he didn't see how that was pass interference, which egregious. Again, I have no idea. But yeah, James, today I'm bringing you that Herm Edwards Eagles player card.
I love it. You play to win the game. Wait, I think this is going to be my new thing. When I just put on the glasses, I go, you play to win the game.
That's a real intimidating look right there.
All right, maybe we'll get that as a promo. All right, so yeah, mine has nothing to do with sports. I'm trying to go a little silly. First thing I'm going to show you is got a little rooster clock.
Nice.
No?
Is that the actual? Is that the clock that wakes you up?
It wakes me up and go cock-a-doodle-doo! Nice. And then I hit it every single time. Honestly, it's on its last wind. It really is. But yeah, that's one. And I don't know the name of this. I think it's called. But this is just intriguing. I think it's fall time. I think this is called a kumquat. Kumquat.
it, is that one of those things that you put in like the kitchen bowl in the middle of the table in the fall and
Yep,
stuff?
yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah,
It's,
I have no
it's
idea what that
cool,
is, to be honest with you.
but to be honest with you, just saying.
Yeah.
Eh, all
You
right.
definitely brought the randomness. I gotta say, I thought mine was random, but I kept it sports. You really went. I mean, you bring the movie prop alarm clock, which I could just picture that ringing to like start off some kind of opening credits of a movie. And then it is fall, doing basic things. Maybe the pumpkin bring out, but the kumquat, I like it.
I bring the chill in sports chill or the silly in sports chill, whatever's funnier. Okay. Um, let's get back to it. The Bills are feeling 4-2. Shout out to Nazca,
Mm-hmm.
continuing to do an amazing job on Sports
Killing it,
Allowed
killing
Fire.
it.
All right. So I was at the Giants game. So Dave, tell me a little story about what happened in this game.
Yeah, I was watching the Giants on TV, and you know how Fox. I think this game's on CBS actually. CBS is constantly doing those cutaways, and there you go.
Okay.
CBS is constantly doing those cutaways, and every single time they had one of those game breaks, it was constantly LaShawn McCoy. He wound up ending the day 19 carries for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. Killed it. If you had him on your fantasy team, yeah. Huge day from him, and he has really been one of the biggest reasons why the Bills are killing it right now and really making a big charge right now. He's looked like the player that he was back on Philly, and I feel like between some of the injuries he's had and some of the inconsistent play in his Buffalo career, that Bills fans have been wanting a little bit more out of him. Now he's looking like that player that absolutely takes over a game. And the fact that Sammy Watkins is out for the season, I mean, this could not have come at a better time for Buffalo. So, they're circling the wagons right now.
I love it. I told Nazca I'm on the wagon. I'm staying on the wagon. All right. And LaShawn McCoy, second in the NFL in rushing yards. I know a guy who knows a guy who talked to Thurman Thomas, and he told him that he can definitely be considered an NFL MVP candidate if he continues at this pace. So, just saying, I know a guy who knows a guy. And their upcoming schedule.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I noticed. I took a look at it because I wanted to see, where they stand being an AFC East rival, even though Jets is nothing to compete for. But anyway, I noticed that they have a lot of key AFC East matchups coming up. James, you remember a few podcasts ago when you gave us your little prediction about Buffalo and what happens when they face off against New England?
Yeah.
Right. So now this time they're going to be hosting. The Pats are going to have to come. This time they're going to have Tom Brady, but the Patriots are going to have to come into Buffalo. That's in 2 weeks actually. They head to Miami, and now they're going to be hosting the Pats. After that, they head to Seattle. They go on a bye week, and they head to Cincy. So Buffalo's kind of all over the place coming up. Tough because you have to win those AFC East games, especially if they want to be considered for real. Not only the Miami game, who came off beating Pittsburgh last week, but against New England as well. And then you got to go to Seattle. So tough upcoming schedule, and I think these next 4 or 5 games are really going to show us whether Buffalo's heading towards a wild card spot or if they're just going to be another fizzle out 500 team in Buffalo.
No way, it's not happening this year. No, because I have a little stat for you. They're 27.0 points for. That's fourth in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They're 17.2 against, fifth in the NFL. Means they're doing a good job. I mean, that means that they're a top 5 team in the league if we're just looking at statistics. And also, I want to shout out one of our new writers, The Wolf. He was up in Buffalo. He's not really allowed to touch the Bills because that's all NASCAR, but he was sending me some Snapchats that were egregious of Bills Mafia. So if you're listening to this, just go check out the Snapchat because, I mean, we're doing good over there. Also, all social media, The Sports Chill. The Sports Show, at The Sports Show, The Sports Show, The Sports Show. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay.
If you want to start dropping stats, actually, this one's interesting too. Tyrod has not thrown an interception since week 3 against Arizona. So in that span, since week 3, he's had 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a fumble this past week against San Francisco, but it didn't even matter because they were all over them, 45-16. Kaepernick's first start back. They were obviously giving him a hard time, booing him, throwing bottles at him in Buffalo. So, Buffalo very patriotic, and there's no better fan base than the Bills Mafia. So who better to welcome Kaepernick back to the starting role?
Yeah, F that guy. Okay. All right. Let's do a little bit you the man now, dog.
You're the man now, dog.
You want to kick this off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. You the man now, dog. As much as I hate the Dallas Cowboys, you the man now, dog. Dak Prescott. The Cowboys are 5-1. Dak has already thrown for 1,486 yards. His completion percentage 68.7. 10 total touchdowns. Only 1 interception. Tony Romo, bye-bye. See you later. I know they keep on saying that Tony Romo is going to be the starting quarterback. Maybe that's just going to be giving Dak Prescott a couple weeks off because we know Tony's going to be getting hurt. Dak Prescott, you the man now, dog.
Yeah, that was my question for you, actually. I was going to ask you, and it seems like a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer, at least. I thought I was going to ask you Romo or Prescott. I think you got to leave Dak in. You got to ride the hot hand. And I know there's been a lot of analysts that have been saying this, but it's so true. We could be on the cusp of another Bledsoe Brady type of transition at the quarterback position.
Okay.
I think it could definitely be upon us. And maybe Romo finishes out his career somewhere else. Maybe he rides on the bench. The only thing that would change that is the undying loyalty of Jerry Jones, to a fault. But hey,
he's a moron.
We hate the Cowboys, so is there anything to lose really on our side? Doesn't really matter.
Go. Yeah. Jerry, go away. All right. All right, and we're going to talk about the Jets a lot. Just kidding. We don't talk about teams that are 1-5. The Jets. I'm sorry, Goldie.
Well, I was going to say you have to let me get in my "You're the Man Now" dog before we skip ahead. You completely skipped over me. I didn't even get it in. You went first.
All right, let's go a little rewind. I'm sorry. Yeah, I skipped a little bit ahead.
I understand. You're excited. You're rocking the Cubbies hat. Fly the W. I get it. I understand.
Yeah. I didn't want to mention anything. It's just a little
discreet.
But I'm not rooting for the Cubs. See what I'm doing? I'm pulling a Frank Kaminsky. Do you see what he did?
Yes, I did see that.
He wore the Bartman jersey.
Uh-huh.
I don't want the Cubs to win. I'm all about Andrew Miller and the Indians and everyone out there.
Respect.
So we'll talk a little baseball. A little baseball.
Respect.
Andrew Miller, still love him. Everyone's saying the Yankees got duped. No, I want the guy to win.
Mm-hmm.
Got that beard. Love it.
It's all love. It's all love.
All right, sorry. Give me your and now, dog. Before
all right. I'm going to go with Brock Osweiler. This was really a guy that people were starting to doubt in Houston. Patients were starting to get thin. And what does he do?
But he stinks.
He does stink. But this week, he did lead the charge. He had the comeback. Fourth quarter comeback. Overtime comeback. 269 and 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. So for this week only, next week remains to be seen. But Brock, I will give you your due this week. You're the man now, dog.
You threw in the 269 and it won me over. Okay. Jets we're not going to be talking about. We don't talk about teams that are 1-5. So we're going to do top 5 names.
Top five.
But let's break it up a little bit easier. So you give me a name, I'll give a name. Back and forth. It just breaks it up a little bit better. Go ahead.
Sounds good. Yeah, so this was a top 5 that I was really excited about. This is one that I always pay attention to. And since the first episode of this podcast, you've always mentioned how we don't trust players or people in general in this world with 2 first names. A lot of these guys don't even have 1 first name. So I'm going to kick it off. Barkevious Mingo, drafted by the Browns. Luckily for him, went to the Patriots. Really hasn't done much since, but with a name like that, and listen, I have to tell you, when I was doing my research, the linebacker position stacked with great names in the NFL. So just keep that in mind. But I got Barkevious Mingo coming in at 5.
I wish we had Key and Peele on because they are the best at doing this. But there's a guy that I'm going to start off with. He's a former wide receiver of the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to give it to you real quick. I'm just going to say his name. Get in, get out. His name was Fair Hooker. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right. No questions asked. This guy, he was a tackle for the Jags. And if there's 2 things I love, right? Crazy names and fat man touchdowns, right? Guy Wimper played for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2012, had a fat guy touchdown against Green Bay. So got to give a shout out to him. Guy Wimper coming number 4 in my top 5.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm a little terrified that you're going to take this guy. So I'm going to say it right now.
Go ahead. Get out of the way.
Little Dick Butkus.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
if
legend.
you don't know
the legend.
about the Chicago Bears,
Mm-hmm.
one of the greatest linebackers of all time. I mean, he was fierce, and he kissed butts.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What did I tell you? The linebacker position is stacked in this category.
Stacked.
I'm telling you. But yeah, that was good that you grabbed him. I was going to give him an honorable mention, actually, but I'm glad that you got him, put him on your list. Coming number 3, a guy that everybody should know if you're a football fan over the age of 20 years old, I guess. Peerless Price, wide receiver for the Bills, played in the 90s, played in the 2000s. I think he played for like a few other teams in between, but he did start in his career in Buffalo. Peerless Price.
Okay. There was a guy who's he's not really renowned name. He was a cornerback. I think he might be a free agent right now. Maybe the freaking Jets should go out and get him. His name is Ashton Ubudi.
I've never heard of him, Matt. He's an active player right now?
He's active. I'm pretty sure we're not stat checking right now, but I'm pretty sure that he's a free agent. So I remember that name, and I always will. Ashton Ubudi.
How could you forget that? This guy, and I guess it's kind of ironic that I'm wearing the Seahawks jersey, because right now I'm calling out all the bandwagon fans. I have a personal friend, actually, who I conveniently became a Seahawks fan after they won the Super Bowl and all that. Claims because he went to NC State that he's a Russell Wilson fan. Whatever. I'm gonna trash talk him all day. Anyway, the bandwagon fan cannot name Sean Alexander, but can they name this running back who had one of the most legendary runs in Seahawks playoff history before Marshawn Lynch? I'm talking about Max Strong, 15 years for Seattle.
Strong name.
Yeah.
Strong name.
Yeah.
It's a strong name.
Of course.
And
Max
I'm gonna go
Strong.
I'm going to go right back to the Aswell, and I'm going to say my number 4 is it's going to be John David Booty.
Yes.
I went Booty. I went back-to-back Booty picks.
Mm-hmm.
The former quarterback from the Houston Texans. I can't even imagine what it was like growing up with a name like that. But he also has a little fun fact. He has a brother who is also an NFL quarterback. His name was Josh Booty. So combine it, the Booty brothers. I mean, that could be a freaking novel right there.
That could be. Okay. So I'm starting to sense a theme here from you. You went back-to-back booties. Are you an ass man, James?
Big ass man.
Big ass man. Okay, that's what I figured. This one will always be my number 1 all-time name. Just such, I almost want to go and legally change my name to this because I love it. The guy was pretty much a nobody, I guess, really, unless you live in Maryland. He played 3 years in the NFL. He was a linebacker. H.B. Blades. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, that's just a really cool name.
It's an awesome name. I mean, it's not a cool name. It's the coolest name. H.B.
What's
Blades.
your middle name?
My name? My middle name?
Yeah, your middle name.
Michael's my middle name.
Okay, so what was his last name? Blades?
Yeah.
All right, so why don't we hit you with a little nickname like DM Blades? We can call you
there
DM
you
Blades.
go. That's solid. I like that.
Because you edit when you snip it, or you just snip and everything.
Right. Yeah. We could probably Photoshop a picture of me on Edward Scissorhands. We'll discuss it off air.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
That's great. I love it. I love it. Right. We'll chop and screw it up.
Sounds good.
DM Blades.
Little pole wall action.
Okay, perfect. My favorite name. I thought you were gonna say it, and if I didn't say it, I would just be a disservice to the people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Haha, Clinton Dix.
Yes.
Because I mean, it's haha, Clinton Dix.
Mm-hmm.
Haha Dix. It's fun.
It's a funny story about that. I was driving back from Pittsburgh when I did the sports show, the Snapchat takeover.
Right.
And I'm listening to the Giants-Packers game in the car, and I forgot. I think it was Iron Eagle. I think it was, but Clinton Dix made the tackle, and he said, Sterling Shepard catches the ball, but haha, Clinton Dix gets the last laugh. How long ago do you think he had that in his repertoire? He's like, I cannot wait till Clinton Dix makes that tackle. I'm using that one. It's going to be so clever. It's going to be on national radio. Put it down. I'm sure he was waiting for that for a long time.
Obviously. Yeah. Okay. All right. That was our top 5. Okay. And now we're just going to do predictions. Get in, get out. I hope this wasn't, I hope Mark next time, he won't be in Barbados. Who knows? Maybe he'll be in Italy next time. Yeah. Who knows?
He's a well-traveled man. All
right. Well, we'll see a little Cal. Hey, Cal. All right. Goodbye, Cal. All right. Predictions. All right. Giants. A Sunday morning in London. Oh, I'm from London. Isn't that weird?
You sound like you're from London.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I don't even know what accent I did.
Yeah.
All right. 9:30 a.m. Do a little kegs and egg style maybe. Giants, Rams. What do you got?
Yeah, this is a result of the Eagles beating the Giants last season. I believe it was in Week 17. Loser goes to London, and then the Giants are living it. Give me the Giants. The Rams, Case Keenum has looked like a guy that has not been consistent this year. The Rams really want to get Goff going, but I don't think he's ready just yet. Give me the Giants. I think that Beckham's going to have another big game. I think the defense is going to play well. There's really not too many scary receivers over there in LA. So give me the Giants in overseas.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Before I'm going to preface that, I'm going to do my Lucky Penny picks on Thursday or Friday. One day they'll be out this week. The Lucky Penny, I just have to feel it. It's 3-1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good odds for not knowing.
Starting to gain some steam.
People wanted to know. I had someone call me up from Massachusetts asking me what it thought about the Patriots, and I said, I swear this is the God's honest truth. I said, we're not doing the Patriots. The Lucky Penny doesn't really choose the Patriots,
right?
But it could. You never know with the Lucky Penny what it's going to do.
You can't force it though. That's the thing. You cannot force it.
I told them we're not doing that, but I tell them, don't worry. The Patriots are going to win 38-17. They won 35-17. So
hey, that's within a field goal.
Yeah, exactly.
You covered your own spread.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that. Okay. Baltimore at the Jets. I think the Ravens stink. And I think that the Jets, even though I don't want to talk about them because we don't talk about 1-5 teams, I think the Jets are going to win. I really do.
Stop it.
No, I do.
Stop.
I swear. I'll bet you whatever you want.
You know what? I cannot take the Jets for the rest of the season. And you know what's bothering me is that people keep bringing up last year's Kansas City Chiefs team that ripped off what it was like 11 in a row or something like that.
That's not the same team.
Bothers me. That bothers me to no end. The corners are terrible. Screen's been getting eat up. The defensive line's been disappointment. You know what? We're not talking about them. Give me Baltimore. Baltimore's playing back-to-back MetLife games. They almost beat the Giants. So what do you think they're going to do to the Jets? Of course, I'm taking Baltimore on the road.
Well, let me tell you something. I saw them with my own eyes. They're not a good football team.
Now, you said earlier that there was nothing good about them. Terrence West had a pretty big game. Flew under the radar. But
rushes for 87 yards. What do
you like? 2 or 3 touchdowns, right? 2 touchdowns, I think. I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. He averaged like 3.7 yards a carry. I'm telling you right now, the Jets are not going to have a problem with Terrence West at all. 0%. If Darrelle Revis can guard Mike Wallace, which I'm sure he can. Let me tell you something. I know that's crazy to say because he's lost a step. Mike Wallace can't catch the ball. All he can do is fly. He can't catch the ball. If Revis keeps his hands to himself, I'm telling you, the Jets are going to win this game. And I'm not saying that I have any faith in the Jets offense or any faith in Ryan Fitzpatrick or Geno Smith or Hackenberg or whoever, Bryce Petty, any of it. The Ravens just stink. They stink. And they're not winning. All right, game 3. Bills Mafia at Miami. I mean, every week I'm picking the Bills. It's just happening. And Miami offensive line is very good now. Jay Ajayi he had a very good game last week. He had like 145 yards or something. I'm not stat checking right now. But Bills Mafia, I'm on the wagon right now, and I hope they feel 5-2.
Yeah, I'm going Buffalo as well. Give me them as the road team. Jay Ajayi lit it up last week. Looks like he's going to be the feature back, but I think that Buffalo is going to be able to contain him. I think that Buffalo all around is just going to go in, get that AFC East matchup, and walk out with the W, and then prepare for New England next week.
I try to see if that was edible. All right. Well, that's not edible.
I guess not.
But that's the show. Dave, thank you for coming in. Our producer came in strong, and he became our talent. Look at him right there. Look at that face. He's got it all. All right.
Triple threat.
Mark, I hope you're having a great tan. You better be coming back with a tan, because if you're lying about this the whole entire time, really got to wonder. Okay.
Yeah.
that's it for episode number 6. The Sports Chill Experience, sponsored by TheSportsChill.com. Fire. We'll see you next time.
All right.